Here's a short video to help you draw a detailed object. Okay, this sketch only took me about 5 to 10 minutes. To start off with, what I did is I looked at the details, the shapes and the thing of the object, the key. And then once I'd seen that, I place it in a nice place where I can get some good shadow and some good light. And then I have a look and start by sketching out the different shapes that I can see on the object. So I've got some rough guidelines there for the circles, and then some more rough guidelines to follow where the key bit sticks out. As you can see, I'm pressing very lightly, and then when I'm happy with a certain area, I start to press down a little bit harder. That gives us the chance to rub them areas out if we're not happy. Okay, so I'm adding in the second circle, and then I'm starting to add a little bit of the detail, pressing down a little bit harder with certain areas which I can rub out if I'm unhappy with. Okay, so to remember to add in all them small details, looking at the object 75% of the time, which is very important that we constantly look at the object and not just look at our drawing. Okay, so once I'm happy with some of the first faint outlines that I've created, I'm then pressing down a little bit harder to make them faint lines stand out, and I'm starting to add some extra detail that's on the key. So this part I'm not happy with, so remember to use your rubber. Always rub out parts, don't worry about that. It's important that you correct as you go along. Alright, so I can see that the proportions weren't quite right, so I've started to improve that bit. Okay, I'm starting to speed the drawing up now, just so that you don't have to watch it for too long. As you can see, I improved that area as well by rubbing out that section and using a guideline, and I'm starting to add in some of the 3D detailed areas by adding some darker lines under the key where the shadow is. I'm also starting to use different tones by shading in lightly and adding details around different areas of the key. As I said at the start, this sketch took me something like 5 to 10 minutes, so I would expect everyone else to spend more time on their sketch. Okay, I've used my finger to add a little bit of shading in there, a bit of cross-hatching, adding in more details, remembering to leave a white line around the edge of the object. This is where the light hits it. Using my finger to smudge some lines and using the rubber to rub out areas where it's gone too dark. Alright, so now it's a nice smooth bit of shading on there. Starting to add some darker lines to show the edge of my object, and starting to leave them white gaps and sketch around the edges. Okay, this picture's nearly finished now. I've started to add in the shading at the bottom of the key to make it look even more three-dimensional. And then finally I will add some details, the writing on the key, to make it look even more realistic. As I said, this only took me about 5 to 10 minutes, so remember, each drawing should be taking you at least 2 hours, okay? Thank you. Good luck.